Today I'm going to be talking about the Armada portrait, which was painted in 1588 by an unknown artist. Why would I choose this painting? I chose this painting because of its historical significance and the kind of time period that it comes from. The Tudor era is very interesting, and this painting has a lot of cool backstory. The symbolism within this painting is like absolutely everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's just like a little bit of something that you can analyse and see all these new little pieces that really tell the story of the painting, and the exploration of Elizabeth's character is very well portrayed in the painting. The main theme I would say is explored in this artwork is the victory against the Spanish Armada, which is what the painting is about defeating this fleet of ships coming to England, and that was a very big deal at the time that she kind of dealt with that in such a way. Again, Elizabeth and the Spanish Armada just generally. So Elizabeth appears very powerful in this picture. She has this big, beautiful gown on. She's got all these jewels and pearls on her. And this kind of just showcases her wealth and her status in the world at the time, and how much power she actually had. And all the jewels and the pearls kind of show her commitment to her appearance, and how she was just her appearance and that aesthetic that she held was very important to her. She wanted to come across in a very certain way, and she made sure of that. And also, she's not masculine in this picture at all. She's covered in bows, all the beadings very floral. These are just very feminine traits and things we associate with femininity. So she did not want to be seen as a masculine ruler, because at the time being more masculine was seen as being more powerful. She could embody that power without having to be masculine. The Tilbury speech was a speech given after an invasion from the Spanish Armada already, that she had already defeated, but there was threat of another invasion. So she went down to Tilbury. She said to all the troops this big long speech, and I'm going to read a bit of it out. She said, "I know I have the body of a weak, feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and a king of England too, and think foul scorn that Parma or Spain or any prince of Europe should dare to invade the borders of my realm, to which rather than any dishonour shall grow by me, I myself will take up arms, I myself will be your general, judge and rewarder of every one of your virtues in the field." Now this is her way of she wasn't afraid of inciting that violence, of saying, I kill these people, like get rid of them, this is our country, we do not want them here. And her saying, I myself will take up arms, is almost her saying, if you don't fight, I'll fight for my country. So I can fight for my own country. So why can't you? You know? The colour within this painting is also very important. The green is very prominent kind of around her. There's these big green drapes behind her, which kind of encapsulate her hair, which she loved to show off. It contrasts with that lovely red hair that she wanted everyone to see. That was very important to her, that again, just emphasising that importance of her beauty and her appearance. And then the light skin that she had, she was very pale. Not only does it contrast with these very vivid jewel tones throughout the painting, but also it was a way of saying she didn't have to work outside. She was very rich, she was very powerful. She didn't have to go out and do manual labour like other people within the country. She could stay at home in her big palace and just be this rich person. So having very pale skin was beautiful at the time, and still is today, but just very admired. The composition of this painting, she is front and centre. You've already seen she's very, but I want to look at what's actually behind her. And on the left of her, you see these English ships, which is a painting, and it's a representation of how kind of calm and much better that English rule was. And then on the right of her is the Spanish ships, which are obviously all messed up. And it's basically her way of saying, if you mess with us, that's going to happen to you. So just like don't. And it was just also, the Armada wanted to bring Catholicism to England because she was a Protestant ruler. So it's kind of their way of saying, like, Catholic rule is bad, Protestant rule is good, which, you know, is still argued about today. It's a very controversial topic, I'm not going to talk about it. The symbolism in this portrait, like I said, it's absolutely everywhere. The globe with her hand over it like that, she's basically saying, like, this is mine, I own the world, like, go away. She just has power everywhere. It's basically what she's trying to say. The crown, again, showcasing the fact she's in charge, you're not. Like, the mermaid is very interesting because mermaids and sirens and things like that are commonly associated with, you know, luring sailors to their death. And that's kind of what she did in a way. So it's cool that that's there. And then the pearls that she wears everywhere are associating her with the Greek goddess Cynthia, who was a virgin, like Elizabeth famously claimed she was. Whether she was or not, I don't know. But she had all these suitors and stuff. She could have got married, she could have had kids, and she said, no, I don't want to. The historical significance, again, the victory over the Spanish Armada was a big deal in the fact that, you know, she defeated this big fleet of ships, and it was a whole thing. And it's also kind of a piece of propaganda in a way, showing that England is good, we did this, don't do anything to us or the same thing will happen to you, and just showing off that victory. And then songs, poems and literature were written about this victory. It was just very culturally significant at the time, and even now I'm sure there's things that you might read or you might hear songs or whatever that are actually have references to this. Why is a portrait important in the absence of photography? Well, it would have been important for the people of England to have known what their ruler looked like and to have been aware of who was actually ruling their country, and just have that, you know, put a name to a face kind of thing. And also that sense of immortality and who she was. If, you know, she's long gone, I don't know how many years she's been dead, but I'm assuming a little while, and it just kind of immortalizes her. It's like how long this painting's going to be around for. It's been around for this many years already. I don't know how many it'll be around for in the future, probably long after we're gone. So that just kind of keeps her memory alive, keeps her around, you know. Her facial expression, she has a little smirk really faintly on her face, so she's kind of like, yeah, I won, you know. She wants to revel in that victory and say, I did this, you know. That's just the whole kind of point of the painting as a whole. And then she has this very powerful stance, she's got very good posture, she's standing very tall, and again, just kind of showing that she can have a little smile on her face, but she's also very intimidating and a very powerful person. Was this kind of an early sign of feminism? Because wasn't that many female rulers at the time, and she was very powerful. And she says during the Tilbury speech that, I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and a king of England too. And that's basically her way of saying, like, just because I'm a woman does not mean I can rule just as good or even better than a king, because I'm sure that would have been a topic at the time, of being like having a queen instead of a king. Like, but even now, people still have discussions like this, and it's like, this is argument's been around for so long. Like, my opinion, personally, I love this painting. When I first saw it, I was like, this is great, I want to talk about this, and I'm just very interested in the English monarchy as a whole. And I think it was very fun to like look in and pick out all these little details and do all this research on the history behind it and see all of this. So, in conclusion, I just want to ask, was she an admired and beloved ruler, or was she a bloodthirsty tyrant? Because she did incite this violence. She was quite an overpowering figurehead, but she still got the job done. You know, so I don't really know. You're free to make your own opinion about it. But yeah, thank you for